Neptune is at that 29 degrees of Pisces, meaning that it's amplified because Neptune is at home in Pisces. Loves being there. It's about to go into Aries at the end of March. I'm going to do a whole thing about the astrology for March because March is just such a game changer. That everybody is saying it's like the end of the Kali Yuga. We're coming into a golden age, but right now we're watching the show of everything crumbling, just dismantling, and that's what Pisces does. Pisces dismantles everything. It's disillusion. If you think of the ocean and you think of, a drop of bleach in a little tiny cup is going to be effective with a little bit of water, but you put a drop of bleach in the ocean, it dissolves. And we are water, so we're going to be working a lot with water. There's 6 or 7 planets in Pisces right now, which is crazy. So the Pisces are really feeling it. The Virgos, what's the opposite? Where the South Node is, which represents our karma, the Virgos are really feeling it. So where Virgo is very organized and aligned in schedules and times and super organized, Pisces is the opposite. So usually a Pisces will drive a Virgo nuts and vice versa. They're each, the opposite of your sign is to teach you, right? Organized chaos, yeah. But what you can look at it as, instead of loss, because Pisces deals with loss, you can look at it as the cutting away of what is no longer needed, right? Kind of like, it's like such the perfect time for that Doge thing, right? And what is his thing? Somebody gave him a chainsaw. He's just like, don't need that, we don't need this whole section of the world. Boom, everybody's fired. That is exactly what the astrology is right now. It's nuts. And people say they like change. I love change, but when change happens and you don't agree with it, most people do not like change. They don't want to upset the apple cart because there's kind of a comfort in knowing what is there. It's always been this way. Well, not anymore. And so people are losing their minds. And that's also Pisces. So this Pisces pileup pretty soon is going to be an Aries pileup, which is going to be a fire pileup. So right now we have a water pileup. There's flooding. There's things going on like that. We're going to have a fire pileup where it's just going to burn the house down. And then if you can take a step back and watch it like a movie, because this is all an illusion, right? If you just watch it like an entertaining movie, then you're not in it. But if you get in it, because people can get you really worked up about it. I was so good at the triple birthday party because I just let the people that were having the disagreements I was just watching them like a movie. They didn't need to know who I agreed with, who I didn't agree with. And I just and my other son was like a room away, but could hear everything, was just sitting on the couch, listening, like he was listening to a really entertaining radio show. And if you do it that way, it's kind of funny, right? And they just get people, they just go, if I talk louder, they'll understand my point. No, sorry, Liv, you can move that. I can't believe I left that there. I'm sorry. The ladder. Don't hit your head.
She's all loud.
She's like, or you can lean back on it.
The ladder.
Okay, so the 9 energy, remember the snake energy? That's endings, right? So it's the perfect astrology for that. It is the shedding of the old skin. That's what's happening as a collective. Honey, I put you there because I know you like sun. And this sun.
Oh, yeah.
So Pisces is also self-worth issues. So it can represent the shadow. So we're going to work with the shadow today in the prayer, because you have to work with the shadow in order to go high. As high as you want to go, that's as deep as you need to go. which doesn't sound fun, but you have to go in the muck and the guk, right, to have the lotus flower. So we're going to go a little bit into the muck and the guk, and then have you surrender this final, because it's really like dark moon right now, the final like surrender, release of what it is that's blocking you from what you want to manifest. So if you're having issues with manifesting, it's not moving as quickly as you want it. Well, you're not really surrendered, are you? But there's some other tools we can use that go perfectly with the manifesting, the MasterMind manifesting. That will help. A lot of it is our language. So we were talking this morning. Somebody said to me something about, they said, my tinnitus is worse. And I was like, okay, well, first of all, you don't have to call it your tinnitus. You could just say, I feel that the tinnitus is a little worse, right? There's ways to phrase things instead of saying, I want to heal the arthritis in my thumb. I've just put arthritis out there. Instead of, so I would say, all of my joints are healthy and strong. And I can do all of the activities that I want to do with ease and grace. And then I don't even have arthritis in that sentence of that goal. So I worked with some of you, and when you were having your mastermind meetings here, and we just slightly changed the language, but that slight change in language is what's going to start giving you the momentum. So in the Huna teachings, you don't even put the word in there. I mean, Tony has like people that he's working with that are like, when I have my surgery, because they work in a surgery center.
When I had my rotator cuff surgery, I'm like, did you hurt your arm? They go, no, but it's gonna happen. What are you saying?
It's gonna happen when I have my hip surgery. Why? Right? So that's how we're ingrained. And when somebody tells you something about you, that affects you the rest of your life, especially when you're really young. There was just a doctor, I forgot to send it to you. There's a doctor that just went to jail for 45 years. She got 45 years in prison for falsely telling people they had cancer. Oh. They didn't have it. And she was getting money, kickbacks from the cancer drug companies. So you're gonna start seeing all of this come out, all of this deception, because that's that 12th house too, the secrets, the shadows. It's all bubbling up and it's all going to be exposed. So can you imagine somebody says you have cancer and they don't get a second opinion and they oh my God, they own it and they start doing treatments. I mean, or if somebody said anything to you, right? You have ugly hair, right? That stuck with me from, I'm obsessed about my hair more than usual, because when I was 10 years old, the girl said, you have ugly hair. I still remember that. So the wound of that lessens, but it still colors your life now. It's still there. Tell me who she was. Lynette. I still remember her name. Lynette. Okay? Talking about an Aries that's going to remember. A Sicilian Aries will never forget. So these little things will stick with you. And so those things, especially now, Venus, so Mars is direct. Yay. It still hasn't moved from last week, but it's about to move. But just as it goes direct, Venus on Saturday is going to go retrograde. And so Venus is our relationships, it's beauty, our joy, fun, romance, our looks. Watch everybody go get plastic surgery or something in a Venus retrograde. It is not going to go well because it's squared by Jupiter. So it's going to be bad. And they're going to go, I need an eye job. And it's going to be, so if you are going to do anything like that, ask me about the astrology first if you're even thinking about it. A haircut, fine, it'll grow. But an eye job, no. Okay. So you will start questioning Not only like your looks, how you feel, what you like. I mean, I just told the time, I'm like, oh, 2 a.m, we're moving. I'm like, I don't even like it, right? And I couldn't go back to sleep because there was a wound there. And then I got to the wound for this, and I was like, oh, also was a thing. I was trying to impress a boy, and I was trying to be a grown-up, and I was 10. And I was putting glass. I was working in our restaurant. My parents were nowhere to be found. And I'm working in the restaurant, and the glass falls, and I go to catch it, but it hits the counter first, and a big piece of glass goes right here, and blood is shooting out the artery. And I was like, oh, I forgot about that. Yeah. But that's when it always comes in for me in the middle of the night when I'm awake. I'm like, what? And then I get the flash. I'm like, oh, okay, there's that. So I was trying to be accepted. I was trying to be older, like I was trying to be like, because the boy was like 16, and I was like, 10 or 11, right? But I didn't look like I was 10 or 11. So I was trying to be accepted and appreciated and acknowledged. So that, it was like, oh, this is a block. And then I could see it through my whole life. So there's something in your life that happened, and it could be the original wound. It could go into the womb. A lot of times we don't know what it is because you're in the womb. But say you're in the womb and your parents were talking about an abortion. The baby feels that, okay? Or it could go even further. Usually does, because you're coming in with it from so many lives to heal it, and sometimes you'll be shown in past lives. So it's that little thing there that you're like, oh, I'm over it. It doesn't bother me now. But it's that thing that's coloring everything that is the block. So that's what we're gonna try to get to. And it can be emotion. I'm not gonna leave you in the wound if you get there, because Pisces is emotion. So I don't want you drowning in the heavy rains of that. But it's also about compassion and surrender and loving yourself. So 90% of healing is loving yourself and accepting yourself. Believe it or not, it's crazy, but it's so much of it. And then so that it happens usually when you're a child, sometimes before 7, and then usually before 7, and then you repeat it. And then as you grow up, you are so hard on yourself. The whole time you're growing up and the whole time you're an adult, you're really hard on yourself. And then as we age, we get harder on ourselves, right? I should know better. I should be doing this. I should be this strong. I should be able to do this. And so that's what Venus is gonna show us for a couple months. Yay. But if you get to it early enough and see it, that's the whole key, is you recognize the pattern and you're like, oh, I'm not gonna go there. I don't need to go there because there I am not accepting myself again. Or there I am doing something I don't really want to do so people will like me. Well, that's not satisfying. That's not fun, right? You have to just be true to yourself. And then when it comes into Aries, it's like a redefinition of yourself, a redefinition of what you like, a redefinition of the relationship. Is the relationship not working out? Is the relationship changing? Everything is coming up to a boil here. Do I even like where I live? Maybe I want to move to Costa Rica. Maybe I want to do van life. I don't know, but you're going to have all of these things come up for you to reevaluate. And that's what the retrograde is, right? A reevaluation, a review, all sorts of things can happen. And Mercury will go retrograde.
When is that?
2 weeks after Venus goes retrograde.
So do we wait?
So in a couple weeks. I would not make, I would just go into surrender and like you're watching the show. I wouldn't make big decisions. I wouldn't get into a new relationship.
We don't move.
No. I wouldn't. I would not start a new romance right now. It's not going to work out. You're right. That's so, just wait. And then, cause it'll be all new after March 15th, and especially after March 30th, it's the whole new we are about to have such a wild ride. Okay. So Pisces is also creativity, and it is an opportunity for emotional recovery and relaxation. So relaxation is really going to be a part of this practice. If you decide to do it, relaxation is really important so that you can work with the shadow, work with the subconscious mind, see what comes up. And a lot of times we don't surrender until we get relaxed and go to sleep. That's why it's happening at 2 a.m, because I'll just do something else. I'll do. I'll scrub the deck. I'll spray the roses. I'll feed the chickens. I'll whatever, in order to not go into feeling, right? And then it's accepted in this society. Oh, do. You're a human doing, not a human being. Do. What'd you do today? What'd you get done today? How much of your list did you get done? And then if you didn't get anything done, we've been conditioned to think, I'm a piece of shit. I didn't do anything. I didn't get anything done today. I remember Tony coming home and saying, oh, how's your day? I didn't get anything done today. Well, okay. So that was that. That's what this time is. It's a time for like surrendering and like being. Olivia was telling me the other day, what were we talking about? You were like, I'm so happy I get to like get my blanket and get on the couch and do nothing. I'm so happy. I'm warm. Yay! So cute. I'm not lugging 20 pounds of bowls and 60 pounds of gongs around. It's just, yay! Oh, just curl up. That's what this is the time to do. And watch the crazy movie out there.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the perfect time to confront your unresolved issues. All right. Yesterday, Mercury conjunct Saturn was like, so did you guys feel that yesterday? It was, thank God Mercury did that because it was only a little bit, but it was like sobering information. Boy, did I get sober. I've like been consistently paying somebody $300 a month for a bill on Venmo, and I've been sending it to the wrong person. Yeah.
What?
And Venmo's like, we'll just give you the last one back. I'm like, nah, we're not gonna do that. And they're like, oh yes, we are. You're a mistake. They have exactly the same name.
Oh my
Dash.
gosh.
So that's Mercury conjunct Saturn so much. It's getting real with life. It could be.
The person was like, I'm manifesting money.
They are. It's just raining money. And I look at that guy's account. He's like lunch, LOL, and this, LOL. And he's like probably so happy. It's like another $300 since October. No, it's brutal. That's anyway. Okay, so all of the issues are resolved. Money is flowing back to me through the Venmo channels. Always send just $1. Just send $1. And even if there's a language barrier, did you get this dollar? Uno dinero? Si o no? That it's like, okay. Yeah. All right, anyway. I digress.
Don't they have those 4 last digits?
Yeah, it asked you to like verify the last one.
No, not until now when they were checking it. And they're like, no, that's not the phone number. Okay. All right, so we're going to talk about these Huna teachings. So the Huna teachings, you have a handout, which is like, so you don't have to take as many notes. Okay. So these are ancient Hawaiian teachings, very much like the MasterMind. I think most everybody was in the MasterMind workshop. Okay, so it's very similar, and it is was given orally, an oral tradition from the Kahunas, the Ka, light, Huna, secret teachings. So these are secret light teachings, and that's how Kahunas are named. So Huna, secret Ka, light, secret light teachings, just like the Kathara, the grid. The Kathara grid, the template that is you. So the light, sound, and one. All right, so this is a contemporary of mine, but he's ascended already, and we had the same teacher, except I was like 7 and he was like 27. So he's was older than me. So he's maybe a contemporary of my mom's. So we grew up with these same teachings. He is a prolific writer, Joshua David Stone. He's just such a sweet soul. I mean, he has the best books. All of his books are great. This one is Hidden Mysteries, E.T.'s Ancient Mystery Schools and Ascension. All of his books are amazing. The Complete Ascension something, I forget the rest of it, but it's very good. Complete Ascension Teachings. So he talks about how a channel, Paul Solomon, was channeling universal mind. When he was channeling, he's like, who is this? And they answered universal mind. Just like when Magenta Pixie, says she channels the 9. If you're starting to channel, ask who it is first. And be very careful, because you're opening yourself up to another energy that isn't yours. So in my healing last night, I'm working with Melchizedek, but all of a sudden I saw like something. God, what did he look like? It was so weird. No, it's gone because I sent him out through a vortex. But it was like looking around and peeking at me, and I'm like, who the fuck are you? What are you doing here? Like, I'm having a thing. You are not supposed to be here. If you are not of the light. And I was like, no, wait a minute. Even if you are of the light, I did not invite you. So I created a vortex, sent him out. You can go back to God, or you can go back where you came from. This one went straight back to God. I was like, oh, maybe it was a messenger. But whatever, I sent him away because I didn't. And he was a little weird looking. So I judged it. So you always go with your gut and then ask who's coming in for the channel. Who is this? You can't just say, I want my higher self. So we're going to work with our higher self through the silver cord. My higher self's allowed in. Anyone else, no. Okay? All right. So there's a lot out there in the astral. So the universal mind said this is the clearest form of psychology and religion out there. And it's not really religion, but the way the Kahunas taught it, it was kind of like a religion. There's a connection between the Huna teachings and the Egyptian mystery schools of the Melchizedek priest order. And I think that's why it came in, because I'm working with Melchizedek. Bless you. And so working with Melchizedek, I have another one of his books that's Melchizedek, and they reference the Huna teachings. That's the 3rd dynasty Egypt, 4th gate. Okay. And then there were other Dr. Ortho Wingo who rediscovered the teachings and worked directly with the Kahunas in Hawaii. The first guy, the Kahunas wouldn't talk to him. Must have been like, I don't know, too white or something, like get out of here. Okay, so I'm going to read you a little bit. The result of the last person study of the root words of the Hawaiian language, he was studying it for clues to what the Kahuna conveyed in ancient chants. So it was similar to a light language chant, from the 12 tribes. Each language is birthed from that, and all religions, major religions, were birthed from that. So ancient chants and prayers that had to be recited the exact same every time. Similar to the Vedas, right? The Vedas are an oral tradition, and you have to learn them and recite them. Okay. Let's see. It took him 8 years. The consciousness was the Aumaukua, higher self, God self. The force used was mana. And in the light body teachings, we teach about Manu as life force, right? They call it mana, life force power, chi, ki, prana. And the invisible substance through which this force acted, this God force, spirit source, was called Akka, and that's the etheric substance. And so on your handout, you have a little graph of what I'm talking about. So the philosophy, the Huna philosophy, is you have 3 selves. You have the lower self, which is the shadow element. All of the selves have a shadow. The lower self is where the shadow lives, in the solar plexus. We've been doing a lot with the solar plexus. It's the repository for your emotions, your memories, your primal instincts, and it's how we manifest. Solar plexus, right? It's our will. We've been working with like the color, the crystal behind Lisa there, the citrine color, the sun yellow color. In order for your manifesting to work for anything, you must be free of guilt, doubt, and negativity. And that's all housed in the shadow body. So the minute and that is the sin is against yourself, to have guilt, doubt, self-loathing, questioning yourself. The only other sin in the Huna teachings is to harm another person. So you can't, that's the only thing. You can't sin against God, anything like that. It's if you harm another person. Okay, so that's the subconscious mind is called unihipili, the low self shadow. Then you get to the conscious mind. That's the middle self. It's called the uhani, and it's the seat of your reason and free will. According to these teachings, it's centered in your head because it's your conscious mind. Remember, the Tibetans say the mind, they point to the heart. But it's your consciousness. It's the bridge between the shadow, the low self, and your higher self, your holy Christ self. And it holds the ability to create and direct your thoughts. And then you get to the super conscious mind, or the higher self, through the silver cord. That's the divine aspect that guides your intuition, your dreams, and all higher wisdom coming in. It operates outside of the physical body, but it's still in your light body. Okay? It needs to be asked before intervening. So if it's like, God, why aren't you helping me? Did you ask? So you have to, part of this process is the actual voicing of what you are wanting. You actually saying it out loud. And I just listened to another lady that channels the angels. Very interesting, because she used to work for Microsoft. Like, she was very much a techie, and now she's this angel channeler. So totally like opposite of what she was doing. And she said that when she channels the angels, they don't even come unless you ask out loud at all. And they say that about for everyone. So that's really interesting. Okay. It is that these are all connected through your silver cord. Okay. The approach to manifestation and reality, the high self constructs the future based on thoughts from the middle and low self. Thoughts crystallize into reality. So this akka that they're talking about, when you have a thought, it's just placed in the morphogenetic field out there, right? It's just a template. But then you have the thought again, and it's starting to cluster. And you have the thought again, and it's starting to cluster. And then you're in your mastermind meetings, and you share your thought with Adina, and then it's forming a crystal. It's starting to crystallize, because now Adina has written down your goals, and you've written down Adina's goals, and it starts to crystallize more and more. And then it has to come into manifestation. So as you acknowledge that the third person in your group is the mastermind, if you're a group of two. So that trinity there, that acknowledgement starts to bring it into manifestation. So that's how you shift thoughts to change your destiny. The harmonization of the three selves for life, balance, health, and manifestation. So you cannot just avoid the shadow, which is what I did for 50 years of my life. I'm not going to go there. I don't want to go there. That's not fun. Who the hell wants to go there? I don't want to look at that. It's over. It is the past. It's done. Yes, in a sense, yes, but it's still flowering your life. It's still coloring what your life looks like. So I couldn't really go deep enough into the spirituality to how Kundalini yoga, because it forces you to confront that subconscious mind, right? It just comes up. It comes up in class every time you're working, right? Every time you're moving, every time you're doing breath work, it comes up. And you have to look at it. You don't have to. You could try to push it down until your life falls apart and the Kundalini energy has risen and one of your chakras is blocked, and then you really have a health crisis. And that happens to a lot of people because they just want to pump Kundalini so much. But that's how it can be dangerous if you're not ready to. You have to work through the blocked chakras. Okay. So vital force, mana, and in Anuhazi it's Manu, right? The life force. In the Huna teachings, the water is the Huna symbol for mana. So they work with water. So we have all these planets in water. Pisces is all water. It's the perfect time to do this. In their tradition, they call it Waipa, which means prayer. And that prayer, the exact interpretation is to divide water. So water is the Huna symbol for mana or vital force, and thus the prayer refers to the use of mana in the various functions of the three selves. Pule, meaning to send forth thought forms to the high self via the flow of mana along the Aka cord. So when I speak of prayer or prayer action, I'm referring to a carefully worked blueprint for what we wish to build into our lives, together with the appropriate implementation of the design. So you have the vital force, the mind force, and matter, the three forces. Each of those three has the shadow body. So the low self shadow body is what we're going to work with first, because you have to clear that to get to what you're wanting to manifest. So if something you've been asking for a long time has been blocked, you'll find out what it is. And if you don't find out in this class, it will be made very apparent to you when you ask. It's like, do you ever keep running up against the same thing over and over? I have people say, why do I keep dating the same guy? Right? Why do I keep attracting this? It's exactly what I don't want to attract. When I get my rotator cuff surgery, right? Why do I need rotator cuff surgery? How did I hurt my shoulder? Okay. Okay, so the Aka cords, let's talk about those. Those are energetic threads that connect you to the objects, to the people, to everything. So you can think about them as energy lines. They'll connect thoughts, the AKA. There's strong thought forms that create those clusters I was talking about, those energy clusters. And then the more you feed it, the stronger and stronger it gets. Those connections are what's shaping reality. So, another thing from the book. Producing more vital force creates a sense of well-being, sharpening the mind, and making the senses more acute. In addition, when one has learned how to accumulate a surcharge of mana, so what we're going to do is clear, and then we're going to really charge up with this vital force energy, and then it has to go somewhere. So then you're going to direct it to the higher self, and the higher self is going to direct it to what you're asking for. So we can have a buildup of energy and then just disperse it and attract the same thing, but we're going to direct it after. We're going to build it up with breathing. Okay. When one has learned how to accumulate a surcharge of mana, one can then learn how to direct it to perform what seems like miracles. And the Kahunas use this for healing. There's a story where the Kahuna, they were going to war, and he charges just a walking stick, with so much mana. And when the enemy comes, he just throws a stick at him, and the guy just passes out from a stick. It's just so much charged energy there. Okay, to obtain its needed mana, the high self contacts us of its own accord in our sleep. By way of connecting the cord of Aka, which is the etheric substance material, the vital force that is taken is stopped up to the higher voltage mana of the high self and returned as a compensating force, which is vital to our well-being and health. This is pictured as a shower of mana. So think of a shower of water energy, like a waterfall, like you're a fountain and all the water's coming up. So think about with Kundalini, you're raising all that energy, you're charging yourself, charging, and all the energy comes up and out the crown and a shower all around you. So that's what you will be visualizing as you build up the mana, the life force energy. And then maintaining that connection with the high self by consciously sending your higher self the mana. So the higher self directs it. Your higher self always has your best interest in mind. It's not going to like send you something bad. So I thought it was really interesting. I can't remember where I was or what I was listening to. I think it was a Shanadina. We were sending the energy back to God. We were generating so much energy and sending it back to God. And I was like, that's so interesting. Like God has all the energy. Why are we sending all the energy? It was like profound. It was amazing because the energy streamed back down. That's how source works. The electrical out, and the magnetic right back in. And the electrical out, and the magnetic right back in. And then you get the torus, right? You get this constant flow, this eternal life flow of energy. So it was pretty good. Okay, so healing with energy and prayer. So we're gonna move, we're gonna do some yoga. You can do yoga, you can do Tai Chi, you can do so many things that move your energy. You could go surfing, you could go walking, you can go swimming, whatever is going to get you into the movement to start building the mana. I think Kundalini is really good. Breath work, very, very good. Then the prayer, we're gonna gather it up, move it through the Aka cord to the higher self. Cleansing all negative thought forms, clearing a path. And then we're gonna go through the steps, okay? You'll speak the prayer 3 times. You'll hold it in your mind and then you'll send it with that mana life force. So let me see if there's anything I missed. When we're saying the prayer out loud, if you're not comfortable with anyone hearing what you're manifesting, just walk over there. Walk over there. There's plenty of places for you to walk and voice your prayers, right? Nobody's really listening to you. They're listening to their own anyway. All right, so we're gonna go through. Let me just see if I've missed anything. Oh, the Kahunas believe that God is a triune being, so the Trinity, right? Just as people are triune beings, they believe that God is a trinity of levels of spirit. They term these 3 the Ku, the Kane, and the Kanaloa. The concept of God correlates with that of other traditions, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. So they are very much in alignment with the Trinity and the light body teachings. Making prayers to the high self is similar to the process that is used between the low self and the middle one. Once the middle self has raised the vital force from the shadow body of the low self to use it as its will, it can do whatever it wants to do with the energy, such that it can be used for physical exercise, for controlling the lower self, or thinking or praying or anything. The process of prayer to the high self involves raising the vital force or mana up from the middle to the next voltage. The aspect that is unique to the Huna teachings is that it is the low self that takes the prayer to the high self. So if you don't want to go to your shadow, you can't get the prayer to your higher self. So I thought that was very interesting. You have to go deep and look at it to get the prayer to the high self. if the low self has a complex of sin, so if you're feeling bad about yourself, I'm a sinner, I'm a piece of shit, I didn't get anything done, whatever, I'm a bad person because I yelled at this person, whatever, it's not going to work. You're not going to be able to raise the mana up. So, if the low self has a complex of sin, guilt, unworthiness, or doubt, it will not deliver the prayer. That's why you have to clear the shadow. The low self uses the mana the middle self has raised to send the vital force up the Aka cord for the prayer. Okay, so I think we'll do a little yoga and the breathing, and then we'll go through this process. It's 7 steps. On your sheet, you have this code, but you have it in color. We're going to work with this Ayahea code and the magic words of co-creation. So you're going to say your prayer, and then we're going to breathe to this, and we're also going to chant this. We're going to do pineal induction of that code. So just like we do pineal induction of the Akasha code when we do the Akasha Quick Seal, you're going to be staring at this code, bringing it in, and after you've done your prayers, or before, I can't remember where I have it in this, but you're going to send this code to every single cell in your body, because this is the co-creation code. So we ascend through light, symbol, and sound. Light, symbol, and sound. So this is the symbol we're working with today. It's one of the Vecca codes for those of you in Light Body School. I think it's number 7, the 7th Vecca code. And you've heard this mantra a lot. I'll play it, but you've heard it a lot. And the first part of it is the tune-in. A tre ina e akasha. So you're at least familiar with that one. And I'll play it so much that you won't feel intimidated to chant it. Okay. All right. Let's come to standing. And stretch a little bit. Do you guys have questions? I think when we go through it, it might explain things a lot better. We're not live. This is for Julie, who's traveling. Okay, so just shake it out a little bit. Okay, I'm also going to play another water code mantra. It's called the Feel Good code. Surya Rashatan. Okay. So inhale. Exhale. Nice and slow. Inhale. Reach, stretch. Exhale. And again. And exhale. Just kind of hang out here. Sway side to side. Good. Cross the right leg over the left. Hold. And left over right. Good. Bringing both feet parallel, slowly rolling yourself up. Mounted pose, drop that grounding cord again. Bringing the arms up and reaching to Star, squat, out. Doing that a few times. Seeing if you can stretch and go a little lower. Beautiful. Coming back to center. Reaching up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Hands to knees as you look up, flat back. Dropping the hands down. Keep looking up. Stretch out the sacrum. And fold. And stepping or hopping back to top of a push-up, high plank. Good. Coming down, knees, hips, chest, shoulders, chin, peeling up into cobra. Shoulders away from the ears. Find that length. And exhale into child's pose. Good. Moving cat-cow here, like you're moving in the wave of the water. Beautiful. And then side to side with the feet. Looking at the toes as you shift them from one side to the other. And then coming back to the center, curling the toes, shifting the hips up. You're in downward facing dog. You can pedal here. Stretch out your calves. Take the right toe behind the left heel. And then press the left heel to the back of the mat. And then do that with the other side. Hook the toes around the Achilles. And now you have firmly planted yourself on the right foot. Raise the left leg up and back into three-legged dog. Good. And then bend the knee, the outstretched leg. Bring the heel to the buttocks. Good. And take a big step forward. Crescent pose. When you have your balance, bring the arms up. You can go lower in the lunge if you want. If this isn't working for you, you can have your knee down. So you can be in low lunge. Now you're just going to put your back heel down at an angle. Now you're in warrior one. So you can feel the difference from crescent to warrior one. Very different. Warrior one is not an easy pose. Go a little deeper in your lunge. And then shift into warrior two. Shoulders back and down. Looking out over your fingertips to your path ahead. Holding the pose. Good. Reestablish yourself in the lunge. Beautiful. Dropping the back hand down the thigh. Raise the left hand up. Reach and stretch. If it's too much for you in the lunge, just straighten the front leg and then go back into it when you're ready. Breathing, opening up the rib cage. On the next exhale, move into side angle. Really find that length from the back of the right foot to the right fingertips, and you can look up toward the ceiling. Good. Reestablishing your breath. And coming back into warrior two. Straightening your front leg. And come into triangle pose. So you can be here, you can grab your shins, you could be on your knee, you could place a bolster or a blanket down, or you can go all the way to the mat. Look up at your outstretched hand if you have your balance. Inhale, exhale, bring that outstretched hand down and come into reverse triangle. On the next exhale, bring that hand down. You're framing the front foot. And come up onto your back toes. Take a little step forward. Both knees are straight. Forehead to the front knee. You can play with where your feet are. If they need to be a little closer, a little further apart. Beautiful. And taking that back foot to the front. Shift all your weight to the front foot and raise that foot all the way up, half split. Beautiful. And both feet meet together in the forward fold. Slowly roll yourself up. Good. You're going half move. Hands on the knees, flat back. Look forward, drop the hands. And fold on the exhale. Inhale, step or hop back. High plank. This time you can come into chaturanga, or you can stay with the knees, hips, chest, shoulders. You decide. So you're either that or you're chaturanga, hovering in low plank. And then hug those elbows in. Come into cobra. If you want to go even stronger, you can come into upward dog. Get the knees up, get the hips up. Depends on how strong you're feeling. And then shift yourself back again. Child's pose. Walking the hands over to the right. Bring the left hand over the top of the right hand. Drop the hips to the left. And then go the other way. Good, come back to center. Curl the toes, meet back in downward dog. Stretching those calves again. This time we're going to take the right foot now and bring it up behind you in three-legged dog. Or whatever leg you didn't do last time. Good. When you're ready, bend the knee. Drop the heel to the buttocks. Inhale. And take that big step forward. Crescent pose. Establishing your lunge. You can be low or you can be high. And then bring that back heel down, come into warrior one. I'm gonna go this way. Good. Make sure in your lunge that you can see your toes on the inside of your knee, so you don't want to be collapsing your knee inward. And then into warrior two. Drop that back in. Look up, stretch up. Go back into your lunge. If you need to take a break, straighten the knee and then go back into the lunge. And the exhale, come into side angle. Are you guys getting hot yet? Good. That's right, it's hot yoga today. Good, find that length from the pinky toe of the left foot to the fingertips of the left hand. Good. And back into warrior two on the exhale. Inhale, straighten that knee. Exhale, come into triangle. With what works for you. Maybe you're here, that's fine. On an exhale, bring the hand down and we'll reverse triangle. Good, on an exhale, bring the hand down, you're framing the front foot. Come up on your toes on the back foot, take a little step forward. Forehead to the front knee. Beautiful. Shifting all the weight to the front foot. You're gonna come into half splits. Standing split. Good. Let all that fresh blood supply come into the thyroid. And then an exhale, bring that foot down. In the forward fold. Slowly roll yourself up. Back and down. Good, you're going to step out to the side on your mat. Or you could be on the wood, straddling your mat. You're here, and do a little windmill. You decide. One more on each side. Good, and come down. That's the quad again. And the five-pointed star. The star that you are. And down. Next time you come down, you're going to stay down. Stay in the goddess squat. Inhale. And you could be here, that's fine. You could be here, that's fine. Pay attention to your breath. You're going to connect now with the lower self. Focus at the root chakra. Bring the hands down. Shift right to left. And you might even be able to do this. Thank you. You can put it all the way up if you want, babe. You might even be able to do this without bringing your hands down. Some of you yogis will be able to do that. Good. One more each side. And then your favorite pose of all, bringing your knees down. Lining up your ankles with the knees. flying frog. Really comfortable one. So this could be it. You could just be right here. That's fine. Flex the toes out. So you should be able to look back and see your toes. And then if you feel flexible enough, you can come to the elbows. And you can come all the way down if that's for you today. This is our unhappy baby. So we're getting in touch with that shadow self, your unhappy baby. And from this really comfortable position, I'm going to ask you a question. What is it that's blocking you from achieving what you are asking for? What is it that's blocking you? And if you don't know what it is that you can name it, just give a picture to it, a shape or a color. And feel where you feel it in your body. And bring your heels together. Push yourself up. You're seated. Bring the legs up. Go side to side. Still focus at the root. So we're dimensions 1, 2, and 3. First, second, third chakra. The lower bodies. And come to stillness, an easy pose. So even if you haven't named the first thing that comes to your mind of what's blocking you, you can have the feeling of it. If you think it's another person blocking you, it's not that person. It's the feeling the other person is bringing to you. So the highest yoga is relationship, and a lot of times our relationships are what's triggering that. I'm not going to have you write down what's blocking you because I don't want to give it any more energy. I want you to look at transforming that energy. So whatever color you gave it, whatever shape you gave it, whatever size it is, wherever it's located in your body. So for instance, mine feels like a lump here in my throat, like right before you're gonna cry. So I'm just gonna start spinning that energy there. So wherever it is in your body, start spinning it. It doesn't matter the direction. And then you're gonna move it. You're gonna move it so it touches each of your chakras. So whether that's up or down, when you get to the next space, the next chakra, you're gonna spin it faster. And then go to the next chakra and spin it faster. We've touched 3 chakras. Go to the next chakra. Spin it even faster. You're just witnessing that thought form. Going to the next chakra, you're hitting 5 chakras now. Spin it even faster. next chakra, and you're going even faster with the spin. And faster with the final chakra. Now bring it to the solar plexus, and I want you to pop it out of the solar plexus region until it's sitting in front of you and you're looking at it. And then whatever the form is, if you have a name to it, so let's, for example, the I'm not good enough might be the image, or I'm not worthy, whatever it is. You're going to start to dismantle it. You're going to spin it in the opposite direction now. Unwind it. Once it's spinning, bring it back into the solar plexus region and spin it faster. You're going to bring it to the root chakra. Spin it faster, reverse direction. Good, taking it up a notch. Second chakra, go faster. Bringing it up to the heart space. Go even faster. Reversing the negative thought form, moving it into the fifth chakra, the throat, the thyroid area, the pineal gland, moving into the sixth chakra. And to the crown. Going as fast as it can possibly go now. Good. And you're spinning it out of the physical body into the field, popping it out into your field and looking at it now. And seeing if there's less of a charge on it. Long, deep breath. And the sun clears the pain body. So visualize now your physical body and your field. Now take it out into a vortex outside of this space. Body's clear. You're depositing it in the violet flame now, burning up that karma, burning up that negative image. And clear the space around you. point on your grid. Stream the light from the Akasha God Force. Down step it from dimension 13 all the way to dimension 1. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. Step 2. You're going to write out the exact thought form, the exact prayer of what you are desiring. It might already be written out, but re-look at it. You might want to switch it up a little bit. Right? So if you're naming something in your request that you don't want, or you want to, quote, get rid of, you're changing the language. So for instance, I don't want to get rid of that, whatever that is over there. I just want a free and open space for everybody to park when they want to. Visualizing exactly what you want and writing it down. Whenever you're done with however many things you're writing down, I would like you to come in to start a gentle breath of fire to start building the mana. So I'll know that everyone's done when we're all doing a breath of fire. Breath of fire, focus on golden light at the solar plexus, expanding all around you, front, back, and to the sides, above and below. Inhale deep.
The magic words of co-creation.
And hold this image in front of you and look at it. And when you look at it, it's almost like you're looking at it a little bit cross-eyed. And you're bringing the image into the pineal gland. And then inhale. You're not chanting, you're breathing right now. And then hold the breath. And then exhale it to all of your cells. Your body, all 30 trillion cells. And then hold the breath out. I'm going to do that again. Inhale. And hold. And exhale. All to your cells, sending this code. Hold the breath out. And inhale the code. And hold. Build the prana. Build the mana force. Exhale, send it to all of your cells. And hold the breath out. And close the eyes. Good. Inhale. 8 count. Hold for 8. Exhale for 8. Hold the breath out for 8. Good. Inhale, visualize your goal. Hold it in every cell of your being. Exhale, send it out the silver cord to the high self. Hold the breath out, delivering it to the void. Inhale, visualizing your next goal. Hold it in your body, in your conscious mind, the middle. Exhale, send it to the higher self through the silver cord. Hold the breath out as it's delivered to the void. And keep doing that with each one. Surrender to the void. And exhale and do a body scan now. Check for any residual negative thought forms that could be lingering. If you find that remnants of the wound of the shadow self, you just integrate it now. Notice what's there. And then bring yourself back to a time that you felt the opposite of what the shadow is delivering to you. So if the image is, I'm not safe, it's not safe here, then you go to an image of when you felt safe and secure, when you felt wanted and accepted. Find that opposite feeling of the shadow and bring it in. A time when you felt your best, when you were just basking in love. And hold this feeling of love, safety, acceptance, acknowledgement. And then you're going to read your prayers aloud. So if you're not comfortable here, you can walk out anywhere, take them with you, and you're going to say them out loud 3 times. So if you have 5 prayers, you'll be saying it 15 times. So 3 times for each one that you're manifesting. So I'll play music. Or I'll play this one again so you get it in here.
The magic words of
So
co-creation.
you're saying each one of them 3 times out loud. Have a clear,
Embody
open space.
the in-breath and out-breath of God.
Needs to be paid. Everything that needs to be paid.
Ideshvara Dikeshe Tamira Pranaji Marue Kritakuki Mayayana Treyare Mane Kairanga Haramaya Manaki Umae Trainae Ekasha Ideshvara Dikeshe Tamira Pranaji Marue Kritakuki Mayana Treyare Mane
Christos spirit self, your mighty I am present, sending each prayer up the silver cord. When answering, you're going to feel a little electric pulse come back down. When the electric pulse or the tingle is felt, the prayer is recalled and spoken aloud one more time. So as soon as you feel the electric tingle from the higher self, wherever you feel it, you speak the prayer again one more time. Or all of them one more time. Visualize it coming in on a crystal river. A crystal river of light is flowing from God's source. Recite your prayer one more time, or your prayers. Beautiful. As soon as that's done, this is the closing portion. It is made definite, so nothing gets jumbled or contaminated back with the lower self. We say, the prayer takes flight, let the rain of blessings fall. The prayer takes flight, let the rain of blessings fall. The prayer takes flight, let the rain of blessings fall. The prayer takes flight, let the rain of blessings fall. Visualize yourself as the fountain and the rain of blessings coming down all around you. And now you're surrendering that prayer in complete, or all the prayers in complete and total relaxation. So get very comfortable and move yourself into relaxation. Okay, where are those eye masks?